it's not that losing 4 stone is in itself a vast achievement, but it tells me that I can control some part of myself. My physical body is not a rogue that will just do whatever it wants to do. I can say, no, I'm going to make you a bit sleeker. And if I can do that with my body, maybe I can do things with my mind. Maybe I am, captain of my soul, master of my destiny, and all of that. So, yes, I started walking every morning, when I was in London, go around Regent's Park and listen to audiobooks, just choose all kinds of books that either I hadn't read for years or I'd always meant to read, whether it was Dostoevsky or Agatha Christie. It wasn't about high literature necessarily. It was about just having a story in my head and walking and looking and saying, wow, I did 7 miles this morning. That's amazing. You feel you're doing something. So it's really been a slow process of allowing myself, I suppose, to be who I am and not to fight for my place at the table. I suppose I've accepted that through immense good fortune, I am where I am. I don't need to say yes to everything that I'm asked to do. I don't owe it to to myself to have to work all the time. And so I am sometimes capable of looking to myself in the mirror and saying, you're quite happy today, aren't you, Stephen? And then I'll go, no, don't say that. It's the worst thing you could say.
You've got almost 13 million followers on Twitter. What's your relationship been with social media? Because,
up and down.
I mean, Twitter really is a cesspool at the best of times of just negativity and abuse and trolls. So reflecting on the experience you had when you were 37 with that critical feedback, I mean, Twitter is not a great place to be if you want.
No, indeed it isn't. Empathy. I mean, it is supportive too. I mean, I've learned how to use it in a way that is not likely ever to upset me anymore. There was a time when I was fully engaged with it, and you call it a cesspool, and I've used similar images in the early days. It was like a lovely swimming hole in a glade in a lovely wood somewhere, where people of goodwill and from around would swim about, and you'd bump into them and go, hi, how are you? And you'd just chat. And then suddenly you'd notice, oh, there's a turd floating on it. What the hell's that doing there? And then suddenly there'd be a bit of broken glass when you put your foot down, or an old rusty pram or something. And you realize that it had become, as you say, a kind of cesspool. And that's a terrible shame. It's immensely useful to have that many followers, because it means I can satisfy a few publicity requirements with one stroke of the pen, as it were, just by tweeting about them. And it will reach a bigger audience than if I spend 4 hours doing a profile with a journalist who always want to get under my skin and ask annoying questions.
Like
so it's a lazy, good publicity tool. I'm slightly worried that I don't know, that I may have to leave it if Elon Musk takes over. I'm not sure that I want to be involved in his Twitter. It doesn't sound like a nice, happy place. I'll consider, I might just simply stop using it in any other way except to post things for charities or work that but rather than engaging in people, I'm not sure I want to see some of the tweets that float up from the kind of people that Musk encourages. I mean, I may be wrong. And it's not that I want it to be a left-wing thing, not a right-wing thing.